At the University of Heidelberg, they have a student prison, which was unusual. Of course, they closed it 100 years ago, but we're going to go inside the museum now, and downstairs is the student prison, and right off the lobby is the very first student prison, which is a little bit less comfortable than the first one, which you will see. It's a great place to spend a couple of nights and then get your act together and go back to studying and not raising too much fuss in town. Heidelberg University closed their student prison in 1914. That's 100 years ago. But they had a student prison because students got out of hand a little bit. You had the rite of passage, you had drinking, you had womanizing, you had all kinds of things. And the ones that went over the line ended up right here in the student prison for sometimes up to 2 weeks, except they were allowed to leave the prison when they had to go to class. Let's go. Well, in the student prison, they got a little bit bored, obviously, so they got into the graffiti on the walls, and all the original graffiti is still here from the inmates. And some of them are probably very successful inmates at that. So let's continue. The original prison, which is a little bit more confining than the other prison, which was called the new prison. In this prison you see graffiti with the 1777 and other dates. Here's 1781 down here. But it had all the conveniences. For example, here's a throne. There was no heat. There was no heat, and of course no air conditioning, and of course in Heidelberg there still isn't much air conditioning, so that hasn't changed much. So let's move on. This is the door. This is the door to the original prison. And once you're in there for the night, or for the week, or the month.